Hey friends, welcome back to the Hooligan Knitter channel. As always, I am your host and resident hooligan, Sierra, and usually I talk about the things that I have been knitting recently on this channel, but we're gonna do a little roundup of all of the garments that I knit in 2024. This was a really popular video to do last year around this time. I haven't really seen anyone do it yet this year, so maybe I'm just like a year behind, or maybe I'm ahead of the curve for this year. Who knows? Okay, we're gonna go over some housekeeping first. My intention was to upload my last podcast video and then wash and block all of my garments for this year. I'm looking down because they're all on the table in front of me, so that they would all be nice and clean and not wrinkled or anything when I show them on my podcast. And then a couple of hours after I uploaded my last podcast, I broke my foot. And my laundry room with my big laundry sink downstairs in the basement. So, we're just gonna look at my dirty, wrinkled clothes that I've made from this year. And that's it. Don't break your foot, guys. It sucks. Don't do it. Okay. I'm also not going to go into a ton of detail on these garments. They have all been featured in podcasts throughout the year, so if you are particularly interested in one of these things, you can take a little walk down memory lane and watch my old podcasts. And what else? Oh, I got one of the Creabea shirts. Yarn Club, meet me at the local yarn shop. It did not fix my foot like I was hoping it would, but I do feel like one of the cool kids now, so I'll take it. Also, my hair looks insane because I just took a shower. Don't look at it. Also, the lighting is terrible because it's, what time is it? 5:36 p.m. and we don't have sunlight at this time. Bear with me, y'all. Okay, let's just get into it. We are going to go in chronological order, and run down everything I knit. Not everything, we'd be here for 3 hours. All the garments I knit in 2024. We started off strong this year. The first garment that I finished this year was the Vargö by Sari Nordlund, which is a top-down circular yoke sweater with this gorgeous color work. That looks, it's a little blown out. It's like a, it's a warm, reddy orange tone. Yeah, maybe. This looks better if I hold it like back here. I knit the sweater out of Harrisville Designs Highland base in the color Russet and Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the color Fossil. And I'm not even gonna lie, this is my favorite sweater that I knit this year. We really started off with a banger and it just went downhill from there. Not really, but kind of. Because this was at the top. I mean, she's my first colorwork sweater, so maybe it's just like a novelty thing for me, but I really think this sweater turned out so beautiful. And not only does it look beautiful, but it's comfy. It is oversized. I chose to knit straight sleeves for this. I think the pattern might call for some sleeve decreases. I just did big ol' straight sleeves, and then I added a band of color work around the cuffs and at the bottom of the hem. The pattern does not call for that, but I thought it was cute, so I did it. Tied a little bit of scrap yarn so I could easily see the back. And what else to say? I mean, this yarn has held up so nicely. I wear this sweater constantly. I mean, this is a sweater that I first reach for when the weather starts getting mildly chilly. This is what I want to wear. It really has not pilled too much. I mean, there's a little bit happening around the cuffs. And I guess like very mildly under the arm. But for the most part, I mean, this yarn has, I mean, it's held up gorgeously. It has a really nice drape to it. I wouldn't really say that it's a soft yarn. I mean, it's not superwash merino, but I wear this next to skin all the time. It is warm. I always get compliments on it. And yeah, I mean, the Harrisville Designs Highland base, I feel like it's a pretty affordable yarn, for me at least, and looks great in color work, has been holding up phenomenally well. It's easy to wear, and I definitely see myself knitting, not the sweater again, because I mean, I already made a perfect one, but I'm definitely going to be using the Highland base for more colorwork sweaters in the future. But I love her. My only thing, I might go back in and add some elastic to the neckline. It is a little, like, very mildly stretched out, but again, I wear this all the time, so I'm not really that surprised. But she's beautiful. I love her. Everyone should make a Vargö. Knit up super quickly. And I mean, I could end the video here because it doesn't get any better than this, for this year at least. But we'll keep chatting about the other things that I made this year. After that, I finished a Soho top by Caidree, which is a top-down, all-over garter stitch tank top with a boat neck. Nice little faux seams down the sides. And this was a buddy knit that I did with Johanna from Femme Knitted and Anna from Skeiny Legend. We all knit this top out of the same yarn. It was a lot of fun. I also wore this top a lot this year. This was, when the weather was warm, one of the first garments that I reached for in the summer. It was a nice little layering piece. It is a little bit cropped, but I thought it looked really nice with a pair of high-waisted shorts underneath like a cardigan or a flannel. Just like a fun pop of color. I knit this out of Juniper Moon Farms. Ooh, I don't remember what the base is called. It's a worsted weight cotton base, and the color is Valentine. But yeah, it's holding up pretty well. I mean, it's cotton, so I would be shocked if it wasn't, but not a whole lot to say about this. Pretty successful knit, I would say. Wore it a ton. It kind of sucked to knit, I'm not gonna lie. It's just, like, the top was fine because it was garter stitch flat, but then once you join the body in the round, you have to do garter stitch in the round. So you knit a row, purl a row, knit a row, purl a row. And that got real old real quick, but I did it. And I'm happy that I did because I do really, really like this top, and I've got a lot of wear this summer. Do I have anything else to say? Yes, this is not a size inclusive pattern. All of the other patterns that I have knit this year, I believe are size inclusive up to a 60-inch bust circumference. This one is not. I did not realize that it was not a size inclusive pattern until I was already knitting it. And I understand that that is a privileged place to be in, that I can just not notice those things. But I have made a genuine, sincere effort to be better about that in the future. And I think I did good with the rest of my knits. But yeah, nice little tank top. It's pretty thick because it is worsted weight, but it's cotton, so not terrible to wear in the summer. Don't know if I would knit another one because, again, the garter and the round sucked, but I do really like this top. Okay, next, I knit a mini mock neck tank by Jessie made. Did I say who that was by? Yeah, that one was by Caidree. Mini mock neck by Jessie made, and I knit this out of Madeline Tosh, their sock base, in the color Tart. This was another hit for this year, for sure. It is blowing out a little bit. It is more of a deeper, richer red in person. But this was another thing I wore a lot this summer and this fall as a layering piece. Very soft. I mean, it's superwash merino. I did not do the best job at picking up the stitches around my neckline. I have gotten better at that. I have learned this year how to be better at picking up stitches for collars, sleeves, whatever. But here's where we were at the beginning of this year, if you can see. It's not great. I don't know if you can see that, but did not do the best job. It doesn't stop me from wearing it. Like I said, I wore this a lot. I'm gonna say it. I don't get the Madeline Tosh hype. Am I gonna get canceled for that? Maybe. But it's fine. I mean, I enjoyed working with it. It's soft. But I wouldn't say that it's wearing, like, particularly, like, I don't know. It seems like a basic sock yarn. Don't get me wrong, they have some really, really gorgeous colors, but I don't know, find a dupe. It's like really, really expensive, and I don't think, at least their sock yarn, I don't think I've tried any of their other bases, but the sock yarn, in my experience, is just a sock yarn. It's nothing special. It's a pretty color, but I probably would not purchase it. Now that I've worked with it myself, it's not that special. Don't bully me, I have a broken foot. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this pattern, and I did knit another one later in the year, and I've got plans and yarn for at least 2 more of these suckers. So yeah, we'll be seeing more of the mini mock neck. This one I wore so much and put through the washer and the dryer. Don't come for me, it is a superwash sock yarn. It goes in the dryer. But because it has gone through the washer and the dryer and I wore it so much, it has gotten, oh my god, is that an end that I didn't weave in? No, it's woven in, I just never trimmed it. That's a fun discovery. I wouldn't say it's felted. I mean, it has like shrunk a little bit. I could probably just give it a good block and it'll be fine. It has gotten a little bit fuzzy. Still has, you know, incredible drape. Terrible job picking up stitches. Love the pattern. Would buy the yarn again. Because it's, not because it's bad, it's fine. It just probably isn't worth the price, in my opinion. If you love Madeline Tosh, I love that you love it. I just don't love it. But I do love this top. And I think the color is good on me. All right, enough about that. Hydration break. My water bottle's empty. All right, next I knit a Cozy Classic Raglan Lite by Jessie May again. And I knit this out of some linen quill that Johanna very, very kindly gifted me because they can't wear alpaca and I can. It is very wrinkled. Again, I want it to be better, but I'm just not. This was my first fingering weight garment ever. Was it daunting? A little, but you know, it's knit on a US 5 or 3.75 millimeter needle. So it wasn't terrible. I mean, it could have been worse. I could have knit this on at like 2.75. So I didn't. But like it says, it is a cozy classic raglan. Really nice raglan detail, just very clean. I don't remember the color of the yarn, but obviously it's this lovely mustard yellow, which I really, really like. Linen quill, it's just gotten softer over time. It is definitely in need of a good wash and block, like everything, but this is one of my other favorite sweaters from the year. I definitely have knits this year that I don't gravitate towards wearing, but man, the beginning of this year, I was really on fire with my knits. It's held up okay. There is some pilling on the side and under the arm. Let's see, how can I show this best? Just like, oh, there's a nice little hole in my armpit. Lovely. Just a little bit of pilling, but for the most part, it really has just gotten fluffier and softer over time. I do have, again, plans and yarn to knit another one of these. The only thing, next time I block this, I will probably go in and add some elastic to this neckline as well. Just because it's such an open gauge, it really has gotten quite wide. And that's not really what I love. I do prefer like a closer necked garment. But I'll just throw in some elastic and cinch it up again. Other notes, the raglan is a little bit deeper than I typically like for my raglans. It does go down pretty far. I mean, I don't really know how to show this. I mean, I guess I can just put it on, huh? I will say I do find this yarn just the smallest bit scratchy. And it's not an alpaca thing because I've knit many things with alpaca and I love it. I think it's the linen. Anyway, but yeah, you can see the collar is really stretched out. But the raglan, like my armpit is up here. So it's a pretty deep raglan, but she's super cozy and I do wear it a lot. So, did a really bad job weaving in my ends. That's fine. I don't think I have anything else to say, really. Yeah, I don't think I have any other notes for this one other than just pretty deep Raglan and needs some elastic. This is terrible. This is not a look that I like on myself. But yeah, this is a really good sweater for springtime or like early fall, where it's like a little bit chillier, but you don't need like a heavy colorwork sweater on. This is really nice. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I really like the pattern. I'm going to knit another one. And I think you should knit one too. I might see if I can, yeah, there's just linen like poking out of this. I will see if maybe I can modify the Raglan to not be quite so like so much. I maybe just preemptively add in some elastic for my next one. Yeah, that's all I got for this one. Good sweater. All right. Next is another hit. I think we're reaching the end of our like incredible knits. I mean, everything else is fine. Okay, well, let's just keep talking. After that, I finished a Summer Secret crop, also by Jessie May. This one is in Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in the color Strawberry Ice Cream, also given to me by Johanna. This episode is sponsored by Johanna. It is very wrinkled. Don't look at that. This was a really fun knit, and I probably would have gotten it done a lot more quickly if I was a monogamous knitter, but I'm not. I did put this down for a while, but then I did circle back to it, and as soon as I circled back to it, this knit up really quickly. The pattern has a lot of options for the hems, cuffs, collar, etc. I chose to do folded hems for everything, which I think just makes a really clean, like professional looking edge. Yeah, this was a really good knit. I could definitely see myself making more of these. No imminent plans, but it's pretty good, y'all. This is just like a very easy to wear, classic, throw over everything or throw like on top of like any bottoms, easy t-shirt. I mean, and that's how I wore it, you know. I'm not precious with my knits. I think my knits are meant to be worn. And so, I mean, I wore this. Definitely needs a good wash and block, clearly. And whenever I do block this, I do have to be very careful with the collar. And I don't think this is a pattern thing. This is purely a me thing, but I don't think I made the collar like tall enough, like lengthwise, because it does tend to like flip outwards like that. So I just put in a little bit extra effort when I block this one to make sure that everything lays how it's supposed to. And I just think it looks really nice. And let's see, do I have anything else to add about this? This is pilling noticeably. And I don't know if it's just because I really wore the hell out of this summer, or if this yarn just doesn't hold up particularly well, but yeah. I have depilled this. This is like just more. It's also getting really thin in the armpits. My stitches are pretty stretched out. It's pilling. I was about to say I'm going to go in and duplicate stitch over I'm not going to do that. It's just not going to happen. Here's the other armpit. But like, I'm not stretching that out. It's just like permanently stretched out like that. Yeah. I will wear it until I can't wear it. I think that's all I've got to say about this one. Could definitely see myself making many more of these. It's just such an easy, straightforward, classic piece. Recommend. Okay, that was really the end of our hits of 2024. I have 6 more garments that I knit in the later half of this year, and they're fine. They're fine. But I don't feel particularly called to wear any of these pieces. I'm still going to keep them. They're not going anywhere. I do wear them. They just don't sing to me like the others did, and that's okay. But starting off the second half of the year, I shouldn't say that. I don't know when I finished any of these. Starting off the second half of my whips. That's better. I knit a Ripple Bralette, that's what it is. Ripple Bralette by Jessie made, and a discontinued sock yarn in a really, really nice wool bamboo blend. Very drapey, very cool. Just 3x3 ribbed little tank top, camisole thing. And truly, the only reason I don't wear this is the straps are too long. So obviously, the solution is fix the straps. Do you think I will? Maybe. But let's be realistic, probably not. Every time I wear this, I just tie the straps into like a bow on top of each shoulder, and it's cute and it's fine and it's functional. So realistically, is this inside out? This is inside out. So realistically, I'm not going to fix the straps. I would wear it more if I did, but I've come up with a solution with the tying of the straps, and so that's just the kind of person I am. But I do really, really like this yarn. I wish it wasn't discontinued because it would be great for more summer garments. Yeah. Would recommend. Good tank top. Just probably don't wear it enough. And again, that's totally on me. Not the fault of the pattern, not the fault of the yarn, fault of me. But I made it. Here she is. She has potential. After that, I tackled my husband's yearly sweater. My husband is a large man. He gets one sweater a year because of this. And this year, he specifically requested a colorwork sweater. And that stumped me at first because most colorwork sweaters are circular yoke sweaters, like the Vargö I showed earlier. And I don't think anyone loves the fit of colorwork sweaters. They're super cute, they're easy to knit, but they have this problem where you raise your arms and the whole thing just flies up and you're flashing everyone. And because Hunter is already such a large man, the man's like 6'6" if he stands up straight, he has struggled his whole life with shirts not being long enough for him. It's a huge pet peeve of his. I get it. So I knew that a circular yoke sweater wasn't going to be the way to go for Hunter's sweater this year. He wasn't going to wear it, I know, because the fit was not going to be what he would want it to be. So that eliminated a lot of colorwork patterns. So I had a little think, put on my thinking cap, and I know that he really likes the sweater that I knit him last year, which I'm not showing here. But last year I knit him a drop shoulder sweater, and he loves it. So basically what I did was I knit a bottom-up drop shoulder sweater, and I put the color work from the Kerr sweater by Rebecca Clow, the Creabea, on a basic drop shoulder sweater. And I did start off by sort of following the pattern Dear Duomo by Sung Hee Hong. But then I thought, you know, I've already done so much math because my gauge was off. I was doing color work, so like the stitches, like I needed a certain number of stitches for the gauge and the size and the color work chart. I thought, you know, why don't I just try my best to freestyle an entire sweater? I've been knitting for 6.5-ish almost years now, so I felt like I could do it, and I did it. Doesn't that look amazing? I think the color work turned out so good, which I can't take credit for. Again, I took the chart from the Kerr sweater, but come on. And then the rest of the sweater, I just came up with in my own little noggin. Is it the best fitting sweater? No. Are there things that I would do differently if I was to freestyle another sweater for him? Absolutely. But I'm pretty proud of myself for freestyling an entire sweater other than the color work chart. I mean, it's a functional, wearable sweater. I had to ask him to give the sweater back for me to record this podcast because he wears it all the time. If I was going to freestyle another sweater for him, I would do some short rows, I think, in the back to make the back a little bit longer. It does ride up in the back a little bit, which I guess I didn't really consider because I did make the back panel of like the upper back of the sweater longer than the front, so it wasn't choking him. I also have scrap yarn in the back because you can never tell what is the front and the back. I did make the back longer, so like it fits nicely through the shoulders and everything. The length is good, the arms are good. Everything is good about the sweater other than it rides up in the back. And it bothers me way more than it bothers him. And again, for my first like totally freestyled sweater, I can't really be too mad about it. I need to trim that. That's way too long. I'm gonna call this one a hit because the recipient loves it. I'm proud of myself for what it is. Yeah, that's it. I think, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. This sweater I knit out of Lion brand Pound of Love, which is just an acrylic yarn, big box store. I really like to use it for garments for other people. because it's acrylic, you know, you throw it in the washer and the dryer, you're good. Super easy to care for. And it doesn't, like, it wears nicely. Hunter has worn the sweater a lot. I've worn the sweater a lot. We share it. What's his is mine. And despite all of the wear, it's just kind of gotten fuzzy. Like you would expect like a wool yarn to get fuzzy. Also, I got better at picking up stitches. But yeah, it's just got like a nice halo on it. It doesn't really pill. It just gets softer over time. It's cozy, lots of drape. Yeah, I mean, Lion Brand Pound of Love gets my seal of approval for whatever that means. But good sweater. I think I did a pretty solid job on Hunter's 3rd annual sweater. Okay. After that, I knit a vest. My mother-in-law, who I love dearly, requested a vest for Christmas, so I knit a vest. And I don't really have a ton to say about this vest because I still have it. It hasn't been given to her yet. So I can't really tell you how the yarn has worn over time. Can't tell you about the fit, but I made a vest. This is the Goldwyn Folly vest by Thea Colman. And I really like the pattern. It was pretty straightforward, nothing too difficult or, you know, just a very straightforward worsted weight vest pattern. I will say it had a very fun little detail on the bottom ribbing. It's 2x2 ribbing, and then when you go to switch to stockinette in the round for the body, you actually do little 1x1 cables, so it looks like the ribbing just feeds into the stockinette. You can kind of see. And I thought that was really nice. Just like a really clean little detail. So I really like that. What else? I don't know what the hell happened with my shoulder seams. I can do shoulder seams. Several of the garments that I have just shown have shoulder seams. Did I lie? Okay, at least 2 of the garments that I just showed have shoulder seams. I can do a 3-needle bind off. What happened here? But what? I don't know. It's the same on both shoulders, but it is what it is. I knit this out of something. Lion Brand Woolies, maybe? Like an 80-20 acrylic wool blend. In, don't remember what color, but again, this can go in the washer and the dryer. I'm not ever going to give someone a hand knit that they have to hand wash unless I know that they're up for it. Trying to think. I mean, the back collar is flipping down a little bit. And the collar in general. Well, no, just the back really. It's like flipping out. But I think once it's on the body, it'll be okay. I did tie a little bit of scrap yarn again, just to make sure that she can clearly see what the front and the back is. And it is a very long vest because I married into a family of giants and she wanted a full-length vest. So that's what we made, and I hope she loves it because it was a lot for a vest. Nothing else to say about that one. I mean, like I said, it hasn't been worn, so I can't really say too much on how the yarn is holding up. But really fun, easy pattern to knit. I could see myself making another one for myself. Okay guys, we're in the home stretch. What did I finish next? Let me check my notes quick. Okay. I have a love-hate relationship with this next one. This sweater and I have been through it. Okay. Story time. I found this yarn at a thrift store here in Minnesota, and it's like vintage acrylic lime green yarn. And there was a ton of it, so I bought all of it. And then I got it home and went, what the hell am I gonna do with all of this lime green acrylic yarn? And I started knitting a different sweater, hated it. I didn't love the way that the pattern was written. And I also hate this yarn, to be so for real with y'all. Hate it. Full stop. So I stopped knitting that pattern. And then I was like, okay, I have so much of this yarn. I need to figure something out. So I thought, maybe if I make it into a sweater pattern that I know I really like, it'll be okay. So I cast on the season sweater by Ozetta, which is what this turned into. It took me so long. It took me probably over a year to knit this, purely because I do not like this yarn. And, you may be thinking to yourself, you dumb bitch, why didn't you just donate the yarn? I don't know. I just didn't want to. I was locked into the sweater, and it needed to become something. I had it for so long, and I was not going to give up. So I knit the season sweater by Ozetta, sort of. It might be more accurate to say I knit a Raglan sweater in half fisherman's rib, because I just kind of went off of vibes and didn't follow any of her pattern. But yeah, I finished it. It is done. It's covered in hair. And here's the thing. When I finished the sweater, I hated it. I was so disappointed in the sweater. God, there's so much hair on it. Disappointed in the sweater. Did not like the fit. Did not like the fabric. Color? Fine. Liked the color. But just was not a fan of what this turned out to be. But then I figured out the best way to care for this garment. So because this yarn was just 100% acrylic, I had just been tossing it in the washer and the dryer, because that's what you do with acrylic yarn. And this fabric was so stiff and claustrophobic almost. It wasn't too small. The fabric was just so stiff that it was uncomfortable to wear. I have hair in my mouth. But then I discovered that if I put this in the washing machine, don't come for me, and then hang it up to dry, it's fine. And the fabric, it's still a pretty dense fabric, has gotten much more open. It's not soft. This yarn is not soft. No one will ever call this yarn soft. But the fabric itself has opened up so much and gotten so much drapier that it is now a wearable sweater that I enjoy wearing sometimes. I did straight sleeves again for this. The sleeves are really long, that so long that I end up cuffing them a lot. And I did that on purpose because I figured if I was making a really chunky, heavy sweater, that long sleeves were like a necessity. But yeah, sometimes you just have to hang up your wet knits and let them air dry. I'm not gonna get canceled for the Madeline Toshlander. I'm gonna get canceled for that. But yeah, I actually like the sweater now. Is it my favorite from this year? No, but I do wear it a pretty decent amount. I love the color, hate the fabric, love the stitch pattern, hate this yarn in this stitch pattern. I think I just hate this yarn. That's it. I mean, but it does go to show that you can make functional, wearable pieces that are fine, even if your materials suck. And that's what it's about. Season sweater by Ozetta in some really terrible acrylic yarn from Goodwill. Should I say this? I had leftovers after I finished the sweater because I truly had so much of it. I threw it away. I didn't even donate it. It's in a landfill somewhere, and I know that's not very sustainable, slow fashion of me, but I hate it. I hated this yarn so much I did not even want to go through the trouble of donating it. It went straight in the trash. We have 2 more garments. After that, I had another garment that turned out fine. I made another Ripple Bralette by Jessie May in this really fun orange and yellow, I mean, it's self-striping, really. This is more just acrylic from Michaels that I got because I had enough points. I wore this a decent amount this summer and like early, like into fall. Very soft, very squishy fabric. I did like working with the yarn, if I remember correctly. Did I? Or maybe I'm just like so traumatized after that green sweater that everything else was lovely. There's nothing really wrong with this except for the straps, which we'll talk about in a second. I don't know. I never really reached for it. Which is a shame because it's fine. It's cute. The color is fun. Let's talk about the straps. I have apparently a habit of vastly overestimating how long the straps of my garments need to be, as previously seen by the other Ripple Bralette that I made. I thought Alexa hates this. I thought that I could just fix the straps by sewing in some elastic to keep them the size, the length that they need to be. So I did that, except the straps are so long that they just kind of got fucked up. Like, the strip of elastic is so short that it's just like, it's not great. And maybe you're thinking, oh, that's probably the reason that it never gets worn. No, it doesn't bother me because the straps are in the back, and whatever goes on in the back of my garment, not my business. I don't know, it's just not one of my favorite things I've ever made, but I do like it. It's holding up pretty well. Yeah, like most acrylic yarn, it's just getting a little fuzzy. I don't know. I should wear it more, I think. Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow. Probably not. Alright. We made it, people. Last garment of 2024. Oh my god, I almost knocked over my mostly empty water bottle. Definitely empty. The last garment I finished this year, unless I magically finish a sweater in the next like 8 days. I don't think that's gonna happen. There's one that I've been cruising on, but I don't think it'll be done in 8 days. I knit another mini mock neck by Jessie made. Is this the back or the front? Yeah, I'm showing it the correct way. Okay, mini mock neck, Jessie made. And I knit this out of some really, really nice non-superwash merino that I bought from Jubilee Farms in Clinton, Ohio. They were at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival this year in September, and I got 2 skeins of it. It smells so good. Yeah, like I said, I really, really like this pattern. This yarn is so nice, so drapey, very soft. Here's the thing. I don't wear this. And I think the reason I don't wear this, because I do like the color. I think it's a very like modern looking staple piece. I like the high neck. I mean, clearly I like this pattern. The only reason I don't wear this is I am so concerned it is just going to pill and felt so badly immediately. Because it is a non-superwash merino, it's soft. So we're already setting ourselves up for pilling. And on top of that, it's a pretty like close-fitting, tight garment, like it's supposed to be. So there's going to be like friction under the arms, and I'm like afraid to wear this. And I know that's so dumb because I spent so many hours knitting this fingering weight garment. I should wear it. It's soft. I like the color. I like the fit. But I'm just concerned that I'm going to put this on my body and it's just going to disintegrate. And I shouldn't be, right? Like, it's a nice top. I should wear this. Also, look, I got so much better at picking up stitches. Look at that. If nothing else this year, I've learned how to pick up stitches. Go me. Yeah, I don't know. I've worn this like once or twice since I finished it, and it is pilling a little bit on the sides, like under the arm. Oh, can't really see it too much on camera, but there are already signs of wear. And like, if I never wear it, it's never going to pill, right? But then I never get to wear it. I need to just get over it and start wearing it because it is a really nice piece. I need to just get over it. All right, I'm gonna start wearing this. This was good. This was a good chat. All right, those are all of the garments that I finished in 2024. I still have several garments on my needles that I plan to take with me into 2025. But these are the ones that I finished. A lot of hits from this year. I mean, I love my Vargö. I love my Cozy Classic Raglan Lite. Hunter sweater turned out beautifully. But there are also things that that are fine. And that's okay too. Not every knit is going to be incredible, mind-blowing, phenomenal, right? But yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot of things this year. I did my first colorwork garment. I've gotten better at picking up stitches. Yeah. Looking forward to another year of knitting. What was your favorite garment that you made in 2024? Or if you're not a garment knitter, what was your favorite accessory or pair of socks? Or if you knit other things, what was your favorite blanket or hot water? What was your favorite thing that you finished in 2024. Let me know. I love to check out new patterns. Yeah, I'm gonna go take some ibuprofen because my foot hurts. And I will see you in 2025. Bye, friends.